Hello, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. MLB slate for August 1st and all the bets. What a trade deadline. Wow. Big moves. Padres make big moves. Twins give away half their team. Orioles tried to do the same. Cubs do nothing. What a shocker. Utility infield in Soroka. You could have been, I don't know if it could have been worse for the Cubs. They really didn't make, do they think Soroka is actually going to be like a starter or a reliever, or they didn't get any relief help? They didn't get any starting help. Didn't land a bat. Did get a utility guy for some unknown reason, but I guess they're hoping that Talion and Assad are going to come back in time to help out this pitching staff, I guess. I don't know. Being a Cubs fan, trust me, a total disappointment. I saw the Royals make more moves, and they're probably not in a pennant race. So the only good news is the Brewers didn't add a lot either. So I guess that's a good news for the Cubs is they're trying to win the NL Central. But disappointing is the word of the day. Zach Gallen doesn't get moved from the Diamondbacks. Sandy Alcantara doesn't get moved from the Marlins. I'm shocked by those two pitchers not getting moved. But I guess the ask was way too high for them. But, wow, Merrill Kelly got moved. I think good addition there by the Rangers. They definitely could use a third starter, but shocking day. Padres gave away the farm and then some. And the price for relievers was awful high. And how about the Blue Jays coming back in to get a reliever as well? That was kind of shocking. But a reliever with a couple years team control versus a starting pitcher they weren't happy with. I guess the way it goes. If you're new to our show, first of all, welcome. Secondly, we do fade or follow 4 teams in Major League Baseball: Cubs, Dodgers, Royals, and the Orioles. We will play all of our bets in those games, but we will give you plays throughout the whole card as well. So, and it happens to be that the Orioles and the Cubs are playing each other, so we'll be down to 3 games. Let's get started with the whole day. We got a couple day baseball games as well. 12:40 Eastern time, Brady Singer and Bryce Elder. So we saw game 1 of this series, one of the 3 games on the board. It was 3-3 heading into the 8th. Both teams score 8. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I've been watching baseball a lot of years, and I don't know if I've ever seen that. And then 12-11 final. So what do we expect here with Brady Singer and Bryce Elder on the mound? This game screams over. Elder ERA's in the mid-6s. Singer's near 5, over 5.5 from 5, over 9.5 for the game. Unless there's some sort of weather here, this game should easily go over with these 2 starting pitchers. Next game up, Cubs and the Orioles. We just mentioned the O's trading away all their team, and the Cubs not doing much on their side. In Wrigley Field, 2:20 Eastern time, normal Friday afternoon game for them. Cade Horton, Trevor Rogers. So I know the Cubs haven't hit a left-hander since God knows when. This is more of a fate of the Orioles, though. I don't know how they're going to necessarily field a team. Trevor Rogers has pitched outstanding. No question about it. But the Cubs are only $1.40 favorite here when they're probably going to be $2.50 favorite the rest of the series. I think the Cubs can sneak this one out here. If they can get rid of Rogers by the end of the 6th, don't let him go a full 6, or definitely don't let him seep into the 7th. Then the Cubs can go to work on that bullpen as they've traded away so many pieces there. They're going to be grabbing everything off the scrap heap and calling guys up in order to put together a team here. But let's give you all the bets in this one here. Cubs money line, -1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the run line. Cubs over 3.5 team total. Cubs money line first 3, 5, and 7 innings. And then we've got 2 batters, 5 bets apiece, home run, double, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, 2+ total bases, and 3+ total bases, both for PCA and Kyle Tucker. Like I said, I understand. If you don't want to play the batters in this one, it's a little bit riskier than probably what I would put out there. But if Trevor doesn't pitch outstanding, the Cubs are in fantastic shape in this game. So I think a lot of things can happen there for the Cubs to win. Next game up, we get into the night games. I like this matchup coming up here. 6:45 Eastern time, Phillies and the Tigers. Flaherty versus Ranger Suarez. So Tigers made some moves, a little bit questionable maybe on what they did. They didn't really add anything to the bullpen, which they desperately needed help. The Phillies definitely added to their bullpen. They're going to need probably even more than that by the time it's all said and done. But, Flaherty finally had a really good start his last time out. But I think the Phillies get back at home, get some momentum after the trade deadline. There's a lot of people they said did extremely well. Like the Phillies in this spot. They're not overly favored here as well, like they could have been. This thing could have been $1.80 favorite, only $1.50-ish right at the moment. I'll take the Phillies minus a half a run from 5. Phillies minus 1.5 for the game. Phillies money line for the game, I think, are all excellent plays here. Might look for Philly over their team total of 4.5 should definitely come into play here. I think the Phillies should be able to score some runs. And Flaherty goes back to his normal ways of giving up 3+. And then that Tigers bullpen, almost any team can hit them, that is for sure. Next game up, also 6:45 Eastern time. Brouhaha's travel to D.C. Quintana versus Parker in this one here. So Brewers didn't do a bunch of moves either, but they got extremely healthy here in the last couple of weeks. So I don't know if it was necessarily, would you like to see them add a bat? Sure. Did they really need a starter? Probably not. Bullpen's been, even though their bullpen 7, 8, 9, I think is really strong. The only area where their bullpen is longer relief kind of struggles a little bit, but I think they're in good shape here. I think they can hit the left-hander for the Nats. The Nats tried to trade away even more pieces on this one. We like the Brewers. Money line first 5. Brewers money line for the game. Don't need to make it anything exotic there. Brewers one of the best teams and hottest teams in baseball at the moment. Even though they dropped the last game of that series to the Cubs, it was defensive. That was more of the issue there. Freddie actually was pitching all right, but you can't have errors and let big swinging teams get additional outs. It does not work out well for you. Next game up, 7:07 Eastern time frame. Royals travel to Toronto. No starting pitcher announced yet for the Blue Jays. Michael Wacha going for the Royals. So the Royals trade off Freddie Fermin. That does hurt the catching depth for this season. I don't think it does for future seasons, but as they've got some youngsters in the pipeline that should do pretty well. Once the Royals, I don't know really what they were after making moves there at the deadline and not being more of a seller, but okay. Miguel Garcia's had a monster year for his career year. Bobby Witt's probably had one of his worst years in the last 3. He's striking out more than ever. Jonathan India continues to be a bust, and I will continue to say that all season long. Your leadoff hitter does not need an on base of barely 300. He rarely walks, and he hasn't done anything better than what Miguel Garcia did last year. So giving up a starting pitcher, even though Brady Singer really hasn't done anything, it's still you could have got a lot more for a quality starting, decent starting pitcher rather than Jonathan India. But that's me. I haven't liked that India deal altogether. Blue Jays made some moves. We expect them to be really good the second half. Even though they don't have a starter named yet, I don't think it really matters much because they can outscore the Royals with their eyes closed pretty much, especially the way Vlad and Bo Bichette are both hitting right now. It's absolutely just ridiculous what those guys are doing. So Blue Jays money line minus 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5 on the run line. Blue Jays over 4.5 team total. Blue Jays money line, first 3, first 5, first 7 innings. Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette, pretty easy one here. 5 bets apiece. Home run, double, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, 2+ total bases, 3+ total bases. Next game up, Twins and the Guardians. So the Guardians gave up Shane Bieber, who hasn't pitched for them all season long, and Joe Ryan is pitching for the Twins. I just don't know what else they have, to be really honest. Gavin Williams going for the Guards, total at 7.5. I think Joe Ryan will pitch okay, but, I mean, he's not going 9. So give us the Guards in this one. It might be one of those games they got to win late. Maybe it's low scoring early. Under 4.5 front 5, I'll play that. Also like the Guardians to win this thing as well in that game there. Twins did the right thing. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty painful the last 50-plus games. Next game up, Yankees, Marlins. So the Yanks basically replaced a third of their roster by this, including the whole trade deadline. Judge still out. Carlos Rodon pitching. Marlins did move Jesus Sanchez to the Astros. So that does, chink in their armor, so to speak here. Marlins back at home for a stadium that was unbelievably high scoring at the start of the year. This thing, there has been a ton of under games here over the last 30 home games for the Marlins. So under 4, first 5 innings, under 7.5 for the game. Also want to play the Marlins here a little bit. I'm not going to play them. I wouldn't play them money line, but do like them plus 1.5 and plus a half front 5, as I think this thing's going to be pretty low scoring overall here between the Marlins and the Yankees. Next game up, Astros, Red Sox, Hunter Brown on the mound. No starter announced yet for the Red Sox. Stroh's obviously riding some confidence. Pena's supposed to be back. Is Pena supposed to be back Friday? Maybe August 1st? I'm not quite sure on that one. Need to do a little more investigation there. Carlos Correa comes over. They add a decent bat. He hasn't been a great bat in quite some time. And Stroh's about $1.30 favored over the Red Sox. Red Sox added Dustin May. That's really the best starter we could come up with? Okay. We'll take the Stros on the road in a close one. Stros money line, first 5. Stros money line for the game. And see if the Red Sox versus right-hander struggles continue. Next game up, 7:12 or 7:11 Eastern time frame. David Peterson, in the Mets hosting the Giants. So the Giants basically put up the white flag with the losses they've had lately that they're done. Diamondbacks did as well, even though the Diamondbacks still didn't get rid of Zach Gallen. That's crazy. But the Mets should be ready to rock and roll. This division battle between the Mets and the Phillies to finish out the season should be fantastic. So we're going to pretty simple here. It's Mets for us. Not much thinking to do here. They're only $1.40 favorite here as well. David Peterson's pitched well. So Mets money line first 5. Mets money line for the game in that one. Next game up, Dodgers and the Rays. So the Rays made some interesting moves. The Dodgers really didn't do too much. Clayton Kershaw, Shane Baz, this game in Tampa. Kershaw's pitched all right. Baz hasn't pitched that great. The offense is still going to have to carry the Dodgers. Let's give you all the bets here in this one. We do like the Dodgers here too. Dodgers money line. Minus 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the run line. Dodgers over 4.5 team total. Dodgers minus a half a run. First 3, 5, and 7 innings. Then Ohtani and Freddie Freeman, who's finally started to heat up just a shade. Same 5 bets apiece. Home run, double, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, 2+ total bases, and 3+ total bases. Next game up, 8:10 Eastern time. Pirates, one of the hottest teams in baseball over the last 5, going to Denver. And to face the Rockies. Cincinnati pitching, no Cabron Hayes. Do the Pirate and no Bednar for the Pirates. I'm going to give you a little sneaky one here. I understand the Pirates are favored in this one. Haney's actually pitched all right. Cincinnati gives up a boatload of hits every time he's out there. I like the Pirates here. Pirates money line first 5 as well. Pirates money line for the game. Hopefully if they got enough, they can score 5, 6 runs. That should be enough, I think, to take care of the Rockies in this one. Next game up, 9:38 Eastern time frame. White Sox, Angels. No starter announced yet for the White Sox. Angels playing all right. Tyler Anderson back on the mound for the Angels. Can the left-handed man do it? We think he can. We'll go with the Angels here. Angels money line first 5 innings. Angels money line for the game as well. They're only about $1.50 favorites, so $1.30 favorites, so not too bad. Next game up, the Cardinals, who traded away their entire bullpen, and Liberatore versus Pivetta and the Padres. This one, we really like the Padres in this particular spot. Should be good go momentum off all the trade news. The bullpen should be even better. If they get a lead and going in the 7th, 8th, 9th, good luck. And, the Cardinals bullpen, which has been a strength for a couple years, actually got worse. And don't know how good that offense is. And they look like they laid down here recently. Pavetta's pitched really well for the Padres. Padres minus a half a run first 5. Padres minus 1.5 for the game. Padres minus 2.5 for the game. Also, Padres over their team total in this one. Should be an excellent day, I think, for the San Diego Padres. Next game up is not on the board yet because MLB still believes Merrill Kelly's on the Diamondbacks. So D-backs in the A's. There's nothing on the board yet. Don't know who's going to be favored. There's no starting pitcher even announced for the A's. I'm going to be really honest with you. The way that the Diamondbacks have looked for this last week, I'll take the A's to win game 1. A's money line first 5. A's money line for the game, and then we finish up 10:10 Eastern time frame in Seattle. Logan Gilbert, Jack Leiter, in this one. I like the Mariners kind of win here, but I think this $1.70 favorite is way too big here. Total at 7.5. I think the Rangers can score some runs in this one. So do like the Rangers plus a half a run first 5. Rangers plus 1.5 for the game. Rangers over team total as well. I think we'll get some runs here in this game in Seattle. All right, so that wraps up Major League Baseball August 1st as we went through all those bets. Just a reminder, this episode brought to you by Outlier. If you're wanting help with research for your bets and want to do the research yourself, Outlier, not only that, you can sync up your books that you're signed up with and find the best spot and actually make your bets through Outlier. You can check trends, hit rates, all kinds of different stuff when it comes to betting. Outlier, one of the best research tools out there. We use it. Hopefully you guys do as well. I will have a link in the comments section, 7-day free trial, so make sure you check that out. If you like the content you're seeing here and want to see some more, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on YouTube, and you'll be able to see all of our content when it does drop daily here for baseball, and football is right around the corner as well. So make sure you subscribe to Sports Bets for free here on YouTube as well. Also, private Discord channel is available for all of you out there. All you need to do is go to the checkout link in this YouTube episode. It's wap.com. Check out. Once you click there, you will have to. It is a paid Discord. Once you do that, we will send you the Discord invite, get you all in there and hooked up. It's reasonable compared to everybody else out there. You're getting a ton more stuff. There's a couple 100+ players on there as well. Multiple cappers. Well worth your time for getting on there. Not only are you going to get all the baseball bets early, but you got a bunch. You got golf and Formula One from us already this week. You're going to get WNBA as well, which we're not putting out for the public. So you're getting a bunch of bonus material and bonus bets. We season-long plays for football, college, and pro. We've had those out for months, as well as we give those to you early and often. If you like the action, this is the Action channel and an Action Discord. Highly recommend you get on there and check it out. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we do look forward to seeing you on our next episode.